Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jiles, and today we got another banger for you. Okay, you guys know that I love the WiiM ecosystem, right? I've done the WiiM Pro, the WiiM Pro Plus, and today we're going to take a look at the WiiM Amp. That's right. So they've taken all the goodness from the prior models and then jammed the amplifier and eARC into this box. This thing is outstanding, and it comes in at a really good price point, and we'll talk about all of that in just a bit. Also joining me, I've got Zach from Dream Media Home Theater to talk about this and give his point of view from the bigger channel perspective. How does this fit in with all of the competition? So stick around. We're going to go ahead and get this thing set up and tell you all about it. Before we get started, if you're into tech, hi-fi, or movies, be sure to push the subscribe button for new weekly videos. Okay, to get started, we're going to go ahead and get this out of the box and set up. And while we're doing that, I'm going to give you some of my initial thoughts about this product. So this is the most all-in-one product WiiM has released to date. So if you think back to their prior products, they were basically streamers, and then you would integrate this into a system as a source, right? And you have your app, you have all your different streaming services. They have become Roon certified. But with this unit, they take this to the next level and include all of the functionality that you need for this to be the core of a system. It's no longer just a source. It actually does everything else. And what I mean by that is that this can stream. It's also an amplifier. It crosses over subwoofer output, and it can take a eARC input from a television. And that's important for folks who want to use this in a TV and not just a 2-channel music environment. So to cover those things in a little more depth, right? So this is an amp. And what that means is whatever input you have coming into this thing, whether it's streaming itself or pulling a RCA input or eARC off of a television, that amplification is built in. So you just plug your speakers in. You don't have to run this to some type of external amplification. This becomes really useful in those television type environments where you don't want to have a lot of boxes, right? So you can literally have a TV, this box, a subwoofer, and a couple of speakers and have a amazing 2.1 system using the streaming for television or for video out of the TV and then streaming for high-res audio out of this unit, right? So it's a very, very flexible from that point of view. Other key differentiators are the built-in DSP and EQ. It also has subwoofer out, and this is extremely important, particularly for those television application, or if you like music the way I like music with a lot of low end, you absolutely want to have a subwoofer. And to implement a subwoofer without a subwoofer out at your source level becomes very difficult, right? So you're either running an output through a source and then to an amplifier, or you're trying to do high-level inputs. There are lots of different ways you can do that. But when you have a subwoofer out on your main device that has an adjustable crossover, it makes things really, really easy. Okay, so now you've seen us get this thing out. You've seen it all plugged in. Another feature that's really, really nice is the app. So let's jump into that and take a look at what this app can do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the WiiM Home app. And this is the control center for any WiiM device that you might have. And you can click on devices here. And as you can see, I've got the WiiM Pro Plus that's currently turned off. This, strangely enough, will also control Songbird devices too, if you happen to have one of those. But today we're looking at the WiiM Amp, and as you can see, there it is. And we are going to click on that bad boy, and then this will take us into the currently what's playing, right? So I was playing a little bit of dubstep if you're into that kind of stuff, but it shows what's going on here. And inside of the app also, if you go over to Browse, this will let you see all of your different music that you have connected into this ecosystem. And this can be everything from a USB stick that's plugged into the back of the WiiM player itself, or you can stream to this via Roon, or you can set up any of your different streaming services right here inside of this UI. And, you know, if you take a look, you've got everything. Amazon Alexa, Amazon Music, BBC Radio. Now, obviously, I don't have all of these myself, but this gives you an idea of the breadth.
Qobuz and Tidal and Spotify.
Yeah, this, I mean...
Apple Music?
No Apple Music.
Ooh.
Well, you can cast to it.
Oh, yeah, with AirPlay, too.
Yeah, you can AirPlay.
Or Chromecast.
That's right. Or you can, I think, go through Roon with it as well. I believe. But the idea is you can...
Pretty much everything.
You could use all of these different devices and then This unit, you can choose your input source as well, right? So you can do Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, HDMI, line in, optical in. This is by far the most flexible unit that WiiM has ever released. It's extremely powerful, and with the built-in amplifier at $299, this becomes a no-brainer. And then with the ESS Saber DAC that's built in, the sound on this is absolutely stunning. Now, outside of that, you can go into the settings of the device itself. You can turn your subwoofer on or off. You can change your audio input here. Another piece that's really, really outstanding is the EQ that's built in, right? So this allows you to set EQ settings how you want. And this is super powerful. This is not something that's super common.
Way more in-depth too, guys, than like the Sonos app. You have almost, I would say, double the control over your frequency response, whereas there's not quite that amount of flexibility within the Sonos app. The reason I keep comparing it to Sonos is because that is our best-selling platform. But this is impressive.
Yeah, 10-band EQ. You can turn that bad boy on, and then you have a number of presets that you can select if you want to. You also have the ability to custom set this for whatever you want. Outside of the graphic EQ, you can click on parametric here. That gives you a little more power if you're really deep into EQ.
Wow.
Yeah,
awesome.
Outstanding. And the sound on this thing, outstanding. Sounds great. I don't have measurements, but to my ear, this is equal to or better than anything else in this price class.
So if you want to pair rooms together, guys, here at Dream Media, we typically, it's not just one room. So like people will hire us to do the whole house. And what's cool here is you can have all your rooms listed out. Obviously, he has one labeled by the name and the other is just the default of the unit. But ideally in a system, a home system that we would put in for you, it would say, patio, kitchen, master bedroom.
And then you just click. Yep.
Exactly. You just click them all together and you can play different music in each room or group all the rooms together. This is the power of whole house audio.
One item that I really want to touch on is the fact that the WiiM Amp is now Roon ready. This is a big deal because a lot of people use Roon to play music throughout their home. I know I do. I like everything to be Roon ready so that I get the best experience with the Roon and I can leverage all of my playlists and all that kind of stuff that I've already got shoved into Roon, right? And you can see we're in Roon now. And this is a really good playlist that I found. 51 tracks of sonic assault. So high fidelity songs to test your speakers or headphones. So this isn't my creation, but I use this a lot. It's pretty good. But now we're going to go in and take a look and see what it looks like to set up the WiiM Amp with Roon. Now, all I've done is update the WiiM Amp to the newest version of firmware, opened up Roon, and now we're going to take a look and see if we can find this thing and what it looks like. So we'll go into settings and we'll go into audio, I believe it is. Yep. And so here's the computer. I'm on all the stuff there. And then there it is. Link Play Technologies, WiiM Amp under Roon Ready. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click Enable on that bad boy. We're going to call this WiiM Amp. And hit Enter. And now this is a endpoint in Roon ready to play music. It's really that easy. Super, super duper awesome. And like I said, one of my favorite features that's now available in the WiiM Amp.
Here at Dream Media, we're always looking at value and performance, right? Obviously, we have better options at all different price points. I mean, really, we can do $500,000 theater builds, $1 million theater builds, or we can do a basic little under $1,000 2-channel setup. But I wanted to highlight some of the ways that I feel this is going to be incorporated into our projects around the country. This unit is going to be amazing for driving architectural speakers. In addition to, say, like a standard living room setup where you don't want to go with a sound bar, you want something a little bit better. We can pair together with a passive sound bar or a pair of architectural speakers and an in-wall subwoofer, everything right to the WiiM, and then do eARC out of our TV for like your Netflix, Hulu, all of your apps and streaming in high quality eARC back into the unit. So you can select that. You can also connect old school devices. There's an optical and RCA line in. So one other popular thing that we do with homeowners that maybe have like a turntable or CD player, any source that they enjoy to listen to music on, we'll take as a line into a product like the WiiM Amp, and then you can take that turntable that's living in the formal and you can pair it together, like I did in another video, with your patio speakers. So you can enjoy that vinyl experience throughout the entire home on a more up-to-date UI. Being able to pull the rooms together, like as an example, at my home, personally, I do a lot of living room, dining room, kitchen combos where that group kind of stays together because it's open concept, but I have the ability to control the volume to each of those zones independent so that I can really spread the audio out evenly to where everybody can still carry on conversation but hear the audio. There's nothing worse than when you're entertaining and you either can't hear the music at all because your noise floor is too loud with all the people talking in the space, or your speakers are blasting and you and your guest are yelling at each other. So distributed audio, whole house audio, this fits right in perfect.
So let me close out the video with some thoughts about this unit, right? What I really like about it and maybe some things that could be improved. So first off, I really like the way that this is now integrated into a larger ecosystem, including things like televisions, right? So before, as I'd mentioned, this was mostly a 2-channel kind of endeavor. You could just listen to music. Now, though, you can really pull in that audio easily from a television so that you can, as you're watching TV, leverage this tool to power speakers in a way that you couldn't do before, at least as simply as you can now. So I listened to this via the Sonar speakers with Roon as the source for this 2-channel WiiM amp, and sounds outstanding. I mean, this is really, really awesome. And then using that sub out allows you to add a subwoofer if you want, and then get that foundational sound, which really fleshes this thing out. It really works in a way that the older units can't at a price point that is super, super duper compelling. Okay, so many thanks to Zach for joining me on the show today, giving his point of view from a larger sales channel and how this really competes with things like Sonos, which is a really great product. But at the price point, this becomes extremely compelling when you start thinking about multi-channel inside of your home and leveraging this in a system. Now, if you're like me, I've kind of stepped through all the different iterations of WiiM as they've come out, right? You had the WiiM Pro, the WiiM Pro Plus, now the WiiM Amp. And I happen to have all of those. And over time, these get put in different rooms. And being able to use these in a whole home audio environment is really nice, particularly when all you do is click on the app and then press go and it works, right? It's super dead simple. Anybody can do it. If you need a pro to install it, absolutely avail yourself of those services. But if you're a DIYer, you can do this absolutely no problem yourself, 100%. And if you have any problems, let me know. Let Zach know. We got you covered. All right. That's all I've got. Negatives, I can't think of anything right now. It's really super strong. This is a really good device. I'm really impressed, and I absolutely will be using this on the daily here in my home theater. Okay. All right. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. Check the links down below for Dream Media Home Theater. Make sure to subscribe there, subscribe here, and we'll see you in the next video.